درتو دلدل زي النعو متكل درتو حلول زي تحاسب سنكلل حرنتو سمر بقللو زي تلل أتحساسبقو بصل زيناتو شلل ملل أسرارحقو وعلل زي فوتو كالمال عمل أين السنديوت وقني زي دفر معبل أين السنديوت وقني زي دفر معبل حرالنا عبي شغمين أيتوم كيا زي عبر لزمت أسألعينا كن حمشش كن سبر هيا وشمو منا العنا إذا تاقبرو منا ذكرنا اسكان العلوم كابتموت مكابر بسانا كوينهم يكالسو بمنفس بمحبر اتشموم حيلي تقبروم صنعاتي مني كودوين افو مليئو بدفرت يكالس بحتي زبل دقاقيمو كبزبل لشمو حساوي ينسو كبزبل لنفسو حساوي ينسو كبزبل لنفسو قن يلنكم زبل يفوتن ديت وقني وريس يقول حقي كابتم ابوتاتي لعلى حلو يقطرو زنت قلت يخبرو سقا حمد يلبس منفس يزقالس اللو يوم حبيرهم اتهزبتهم هزبين هبين اليوم أما لا أكالي بمنفس عسلوم أما لا أكالي بمنفس عسلوم عجوي عدي دكا يكبر يوم لأنه قلو دم يقوم بتب الحسن يقوم أي حفرهم قطاس أي حسرن إدوم هلو اللي دقا كوين كل على كلهم هلو اللي دقا كوين كل على كلهم
زرعية انتخون زيد ما أنا الله تقول وبقى عم رجال تعلم قدامي من تساوي تكال غير والله يخون بر زي وبقى عم العلم الزنا مستعوجة بسجيشة جنبارات تتكافت انتخون من جس فدرالاوي إثيوبيا وبقى أواج مسرات للاوي من جس تجراي حزب تجراي كان مدرجة من السنات بتخافت زورنا يشلف عمل علي حزبنا تفصموا جرنا عاوزين تحديد الزرزر عامتنا لنا قدامي هل تجراي شو حتى الشيخ 7 دخولوا سلاماويان هزي سبات أونتي عديتات كمون تقعد مدرك كولو ناب قرب يفتدان تسجيلوا تقولوا حالات عشحات وقصروا تقاروا.
Strength is what we must seek for. But I must tell you that there's one thing that you must do. Let me ask you all to be honest. Anybody who has written to their member of parliament, put up your hand now. Good for you. I'm delighted to see so many of you engaged. Do not allow this to be your last act. You live in a democracy, and you can reach out through your trade union, through your church, through your member of parliament, through your councillors. We must go beyond the community that we see here today and inform the British people so that they act together to destroy the appalling atrocity that is taking place in Tigray right now. Because I say this to you, this is not just a fight for Tigray. What we now see is the unity of 3 dictators, 3 people who have no legitimacy. President Isaias has never been elected by the people of Eritrea. Prime Minister Abiy, his time is finished. He has no legitimacy. And Farmajo in Somalia is in exactly the same position. He has no legitimacy. These people call themselves leaders. They stand on the world stage, but they have not the support of their people. Unless you win an election, a democratic, fair election, you do not have the right to speak on behalf of your people. The people of Tigray showed that it was possible, even at a time of COVID, to carefully, I think, in my heart of hearts, I think this will not be a quick fight. This is one that is going to take a long time. I have not forgotten that the last time the people of Tigray stood up, was from the mid-1970s to 1991. That's leaving aside the border war. You stood up for many years and you fought. And frankly, I'm afraid that is what you may have to do again. It is not something I want. I want peace, I want freedom, I want democracy, I want food, I want humanity for the people of the Horn of Africa. But if you have to fight, sometimes you have to fight. The people of Britain, the people of London stood for 5 long years as bombs rained down on this city.
Eritrean, أبنو تحزب تجري، لومي يكون صباح، سقع مجرشة، دوكن بلينا، أنزا تجارو، أنزا إرتراوياني، أنزا تجارو، أنزا إرتراوياني، إسياس، የኤርትራውያን አጥኒቱ ለህዋድና ተጋሩ ተጽንት ይጓዓዛና ንሕና ከም ህዝቢ ህላውና ንምውሓስ ጸላእትና ንምስዓርን ኣብ መንጎ ህዝቢ ትግራይን ህዝቢ ኤርትራን ዓማጺ ክሕበቐሎም ዝኽእል ንቕዓት ዘይምግዳፍ ወይ እውን ፈጺምካ ብምዕፃው ከም ዝዕፀው ብምግባርን ናይ ህላውና ውሕስነት ክነረጋግጽ ዕንቆ ፍታሕ ምዃኑ ደጊምና ከነገንዝብ እንደሊ ኣባይታ ዘሎ ጸገም መፍትሒኡ ንሕና ኤርትራውያንን ተጋሩን ምዃንና ክነብርህ እንደሊ ማሕበረሰብ ዓለም ክሕግዝ ዝኽእል እምበር ካብኡ ዝሓልፍ ክገብር እንተኾይኑ ረብሑ ጥራሕ እዩ ኣብ ግምት ከኣቱ ዘለዎ እዚ ዞባ ዓብዪ መስመር ንግዲ ዓለም ከም ምዃኑ መጠን ማሕበረሰብ ዓለም እዚ መስመር እዚ ካብ ምጥቃም ክሳብ ዘይተጸገመ እቲ ስርዓት እዚ ብዝኾነ ዋጋ ረብሓታቶም ክሳብ ዘውሓሰ ጥፍኣትን ብርሰትን ናይ ዞባ ቀዳምነቶም ከም ዘይምዃኑ ክንርድኦ ይግባእ ባይታ ዓባይ ብሪጣንያ ሓንፂፅዎ ዘሎ ናይ ቃልሲ ስትራቴጂ እምበኣር ነዞም ህዝብታት ትግራይን ኤርትራን ንምጥፋእ ተበጊሱ ዘሎ ናይ ጥፍኣት ሓይሊ ብሓባር ተቃሊሱ ንምስዓርን ተመሳሳሊ ፀገም ንከይፍጠር ነባር ፍታሕ ንምርካብ ዝዓለመ ክሰርሕ ምዃኑ በዛ ኣጋጣሚ ክንገርዝ እንደሊ ተሳትኩም ይዕድል ኣዝየ የመስግን ትግራይ ትዕወት ታንክ ዩ ቨሪ ማች ኣስላማይ ክስታናይ ከይበልና ብሓደ ክንዕወት ኢና ዓወት ውፅእ ህዝቢ ታንክ ዩ ሓውኹም ሃን ምሕታው
is a friend of Tigray, the people of Tigray. She worked with the TPLF in the 1990s, so she knows a lot of the leadership very well. And she's very saddened by the current situation in Tigray. So I'm going to pass over to Gail to say a couple of words.
Yeah, hi everybody. Just want to say how proud I am to be here today and how proud I am of the recent 30 years of history with all the progress that has been made in that time, which are now being described as 27 years of darkness, which I find incredibly ironic. So just wanted to remind you just how powerful democracy can be and how you grasped it recently with a brilliant election, because my background is constitutional reform as well, so voting is democracy is really, really important, and I was amazed at how well that election went. And again, it is incredibly ironic that unelected dictators are bombing and killing the only region in the country that's actually democratically elected. And I saw this poster over here, return our elected government to Tigray, and I say yes, 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 that is what needs to happen. They must never be allowed to take that away from you, and you were the last region, all the others have succumbed to placement, so it's very important to really push for that. So congratulations on that election, and one day, I'm sure, that will be, government will return, peace will come. We just have to push really hard. Now there are 2 ways you can help do that. I know you've probably written to your MPs already, but write to them again. If you can, write to your local councillors as well. And I'm wondering why the BBC Domestic has been quite so quiet about this whole conflict. They did something about 10 days ago about the people that were killed and thrown off cliffs. Finally they did that. They maybe covered it once or twice before then, but otherwise, silence. Why? You know, BBC World Service can cover it, so why can't BBC Domestic? So, anyway, what you should do is write and complain to the BBC. So you've got a lot of writing to do, or tweeting. You can do it through tweets. Just get out there and put pressure on the BBC, and we're going to make them cover it in future.
We must start to think about rebuilding Tigray. This experience has strengthened our commitments to our shared culture and beliefs, and most importantly, to each other. We must build Tigray in our own way, for example, by creating new and exciting architecture for cities that has its roots in our ancient history and deep memory. We have the opportunity of developing, for example, a new legal system that's not based on alien Roman law, but one that reflects our original, respectful, consultative and collaborative tribunal system. No one should be ignored.
Hello all, my name is Callum and I'm proud to be the chairperson of TYM. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's made this event possible. It really shows the unity we have with many different people and organisations within our community working together for help from all across Europe, not just the UK. As Tigrayan people, we are taught to love and cherish each other as if we are one big family. Unfortunately, not everyone shares these same values. Since November, when a savage attack was launched on our land by the federal Ethiopian government, destroying countless lives, many through displacement and unfortunately in death. We see no end in sight, and the ramifications of this will be felt for years and generations to come. TYN hope to be there to help and support those who require our resources. Many people are being silenced, robbed of the ability to speak, to tell their truth. I can see a lot of young people in the crowds. Thank you all for coming. For those of you that are of a similar age to me, or even younger, I'm sure we can all relate to the many stories and tales our parents and elders would tell us about their life in the 80s, specifically about the Derg War. For me personally, whilst I could see and hear the sadness in my parents when detailing the atrocities, I found myself not able to feel the same feelings, the same pain. However, since November, that feeling has changed. The disbelief, the anger, the sadness, even the pride in Tigray, it was all there. Everything my parents told me, it suddenly made sense. This is our generation's battle. We implore you all to join our efforts. TYN is a place where so many of us are able to interact and connect in ways to help Tigray. This is the great benefit of our generation. We have never been more able to make an impact. We have so much accessibility at our fingertips. Technology allows us to effect change. It allows us to plan large-scale protests, to reach over 5,000 people on Instagram alone, to put pressure on our government to do more than putting out statements using empty words like concern. This is all during the pandemic. This is your time to work in the same fashion that our parents did and that they're still doing. No matter how old you are able to make an impact, make a change. Whilst you may not think it, I can guarantee that you have value to help our brothers and sisters back home. Help us help them. Be the voice for the voiceless. TYN's agenda is simple. Support, empower and progress. Help us achieve that. Kuna watina. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So I just want to start off by just saying, wow, look at us today here. Unity, honestly. Unity bound by our love for Tigray. I mean, it's amazing to see us all here today fighting for their voices to be heard. And our hearts filled and driven by pure love and passion for Hezbollah. The truth is, millions of people are being starved, their livelihoods destroyed, their homes looted, daughters raped, families killed, and this is not enough for the international community to act. The deliberate blockage of aid by Ethiopian and Eritrean government has created the dire humanitarian crisis in Tigray. From children, women, men, priests, elderly, who are living peacefully, independently, earning an honest living, having been forced to be internally displaced and reliant upon handouts. With over 2 million people displaced, 80% of Tigray is still blocked from aid, and 91% of the people are still in urgent need for food. Words are not enough to describe or even express what we are feeling. And I don't think there'll ever be any words adequate enough to express what our people are facing every day. Many of us many of them have fled from horrific scenes with just the clothes on their backs, experienced firsthand what it feels like to be confronted by the enemy who shows no mercy. And despite fleeing and reaching somewhat safety, they are faced with new challenges of finding shelter, food, basic necessities and healthcare. With your help, Rise Up for Tigray and TYN have sent over 1.2 million birr in aid for aid and supplies such as bedding, food, toiletry, medical supplies, baby milk formula and so much more. We have reached thousands of internally displaced people in Maqala and Aksum, and we're currently working on Shira. But that's still not enough. With over 100,000 internally displaced people in Maqala and over 60,000 in Aksum. As of recent, we have been presented with the opportunity to further extend that support to Shira. Shira is currently hosting over 350,000 internally displaced people. It's hosting the highest number. Many are in need of, adequate shelter, bedding, medical aid and more. And sadly, we have even received reports of children dying due to malnutrition. We are therefore urging you all to help us help them. The humanitarian crisis in Tigray is bigger than all of us. We cannot save everyone, but for those that we can, we must and we will by any means necessary. We have all been donating to many organisations and groups, but if you have raised money within your trusted groups and you have not reached Tigray, please, I am begging you to reach out to myself or any member of TYN. Many are in need and heavily reliant upon us, the diaspora. The aid that is being given in Tigray is either being resold or seized, right? So it's our duty, our obligation to help and save our people from dying from starvation. The journey is not one that we can walk alone, but together, united, we stand to help our brothers and sisters in Tigray.
To those who are silent, either in the rest of Ethiopia or Eritrea or in the diaspora, we say silence is not an option. In essence, it is tantamount to complicity. In the immortal words of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., quote, there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular. The Unelected Tigray campaign of the Tigrayan diaspora, in particular the gallant struggle of the youth of Tigray, have achieved a great deal on the diplomatic front. We recognize and commend the positions taken by the European Union, in particular the Republic of Ireland, the Biden US administration, the UK government, and the United Nations agencies. In spite of being too late and too little, we do, however, commend and are grateful for the humanitarian concern and assistance thus far shown and provided. We are forever grateful to the members of the UK Parliament, in particular Lord David Alton, Helen Hayes, Member of Parliament, and the Archbishop of Coventry, for their humanitarian concern and for airing Tigray's case in the UK parliamentary debate. Similarly to the many UK in the media and the third sector.
The fear that once controlled me has left me to flee, but we simply must stand and make sure we land. For hope is the key and trust is the theme. Brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, families to strangers, all have been harmed, from our loved ones to our enemies. Houses have shredded and streets are red. We are the people of Tigray and we stand with them. We ask you once more, stop the war in Tigray, stop the genocide in Tigray. Tigray is our home, she is our mother. Stop killing innocent people, it's killing not illegal. I stand with my country Tigray and proudly support it. People have fled from the war, brave Tigrayan soldiers in battle, their lives at risk. Now let us play our part and support our nation. We are strong and we are brave. We will have courage, so do not stand in our way. If killing innocent people and destroying the country is right, then I want to be wrong. Stop killing innocent children, mothers and fathers. If you are killing innocent children and believe in God, then read the Ten Commandments again. Does it not tell you to not kill? We are all children of God and servants of God. He loves us, so let us love Him. Let us pray Him for giving us these wonderful lives and families by not fighting and by letting peace and love take over. Do not forget that hatred does not last, but love can. So stop the war in Tigray. Tigray is victorious. Tigray to the west.
تجارو كنسحرنا كل جزء ساعتنا تسفاي تقرصوا كل جزء ببعقمهم تقالسوا شلل يتوروا every little help ስለዚህ ኩላና ለትግራይ ተጠውርበል ተغنيلي thank you
متعب يغنيلنا بس حزبنا تاريخ كنسرحنا قنا ابعدنا